Hello, my name's Akara and today we're going to be looking at different support characters, so let's just jump straight into it. So we've all had those games where character select starts and instantly you see your teammates picking Genji, McCree, Soldier 76, Widowmaker and Roadhog. At that point you're forced to play support, so who should you pick and why? Well, let's start out with Lucio. He would be the support I would recommend if forced to choose one. This is mostly down to the fact that he is simple to use and he can support his entire team at the same time rather than just a single ally. Both his heal and his speed boost are based on line of sight, so you can focus on moving around, staying safe, or even putting out damage onto the enemy team while passively supporting your whole team. Lucio's ultimate ability, the sound barrier, boosts all allies in line of sight with 500 HP, which slowly drains over time. This ultimate is incredible. It stops your opponents pushing in, or you can push in because your team, if it hits everyone, gets an additional 3000 HP. Making everyone on your team really tanky for a few seconds can completely win a fight and potentially the game. Okay, so pros. He supports his team without having to focus on supporting, which means that he doesn't have to worry constantly about having to make sure his team are fine. He's also really simple to use. Now looking at his cons, his damage is pretty low, which is to be expected. Also, the downside to him being simple is that he can be quite boring to play. So next up is Mercy. Mercy is fantastic at single target healing or buffing, but if you're not used to supports, you're going to run into one or two things. Either you'll be focusing on just one ally, or you'll try and heal everyone and you'll feel completely overwhelmed. Having to switch between healing one ally or the other four, whilst also trying to remember to buff someone's damage, can be a bit daunting. Adding to that, Mercy is so team reliant, she doesn't have any damage, and she doesn't even really have any mobility outside of being able to jump to her teammates. Now, she does have the highest single target heal in the game, but her reliance on the rest of your team means that she can't actually do anything by herself. Using her ultimate will allow you to win fights or even the match, but you need to rely on your teammates to actually be able to do something after you've used it. And since you were forced into picking support in the first place, you probably shouldn't rely on them. So weighing up her pros and cons, she has the highest single target heal in the game, but she has no damage or mobility of her own. She is the most team reliant character in the game. On to Zenyatta. His Harmony Orb is his healing ability that once placed on an ally will stay on them as long as they remain in your line of sight. This means that Zenyatta can stay back, lay down fire while also keeping your teammate topped up on health. Now Discord Orb. This thing is insane. The target of the Discord Orb takes 50% extra damage and it tracks, so you don't have to worry about it missing after you've already fired it. Throwing out a Discord Orb and then a few left clicks on even the highest HP heroes is going to do some serious damage. Definitely one of the strongest abilities in the game as far as I'm concerned. Zenyatta's ultimate, Transcendence, makes him invulnerable and heals your allies around you for 130 HP per second for 6 seconds. That adds up to 3900 health throughout your entire team. This is great for contesting a point or a payload because for those 6 seconds you become untouchable and your team might as well be. So what are Zenyatta's pros and cons? Well, Discord Orb means that he has insanely high damage for a support. But the price for having such a powerful tool means that he has no HP, he is about as squishy as a wet paper bag, and he moves at the same speed as a snail. So some of you might be thinking, well, where's Symmetra? Well, she hasn't been included because I don't count her as a support character. As far as I'm concerned, she's just a defense character that needed to be pushed into the support role because they didn't have enough support characters to go around. So in order to wrap this up, this is how I rank the supports given that they would be the only support on the team. Lucio is up front, 10 out of 10, worth picking every single time. Being able to support your entire team at once is just too good to turn down. Mercy is a close second, but I just think that Lucio beats her out in the single healer situation. And then Zenyatta just doesn't do enough by himself as a support. I always feel that he needs the support of another support just to make him viable. Symmetra gets 0 out of 10. Don't ever pick her as a support. She's not a support character. Remember, this isn't supposed to be a ranking of the characters. This is just my own personal ratings regarding being forced into the support role. And that's that. So if you like the video, then like it. If you want to see more stuff like this, then be sure to hit subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Cheers.